Yes, sir.
What you looking for? Is that not it?
I'd like to call the Cicero Jackson Planning Commission meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. And with that, Mr. Zawadzki, would you do roll call, please?
Yes, sir, happy to. Dan Strong.
Present.
Dennis Schrumpf.
Present.
Let the record show that Dennis Johnson is absent. Harrison Masani.
Present.
Mark Thomas.
Present.
Eric Hayden.
Present.
Mark Diller.
Present.
Ford Hebner.
Present.
Wendy Gillespie.
Present.
Aaron Culp, our legal counsel. Let the record show that he is not present. I'm Frank Zawadzki, the plan director. I am present. And good evening, Mrs. Strong, recording from home.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zawadzki. We do have a quorum with 8 members present this evening, so we can conduct business. If we need Mr. Culp, he is available by phone this evening, so he will be on standby in case we would need him, but since we're doing a static review, hopefully we won't have to bother him. So with that being said, we will move on to approval of the minutes from the November 12th meeting. Hopefully everyone's had an opportunity to review those. Any additions or corrections? Seeing none, I would look for a motion for approval.
So moved, Harrison Masani.
Thank you, Mr. Masani.
And second, Ford Hebner, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Hebner. We have a motion and a second to approve our November 12th minutes as submitted. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Moving on to public comment, this would be the opportunity for any member of the public that would like to speak on anything not on the agenda this evening. Seeing no one stepping forward and not many people in the public this evening, then we will move on. Mr. Zawadzki, any old business this evening?
I show no old business.
Thank you, Mr. Zawadzki. So moving on to new business, we have docket number PC-1225- third one, dash, is that one? 16-NC Antigua Italiana. Okay, thank you, I'll take that. Thank you. This is for the property located at 770 South Peru Street here in Cicero. It's for an aesthetic review. Application was submitted concerning Article 5, aesthetic review overlay district for the property located at 770 South Peru Street here in Cicero, Indiana. So is someone here this evening representing? If you would, step forward to the microphone. State your name and address for the records and tell us what you're proposing.
Yes, my name is Troy Reed. Address is 10166 Holly Berry Circle, Fishers, and this is my wife.
Wendy Gilbert, 10166 Holly Berry Circle, Fishers, Indiana.
Yes, thank you for having us this evening. For our aesthetic review, we're going to look at just a couple things here. First being the fence around the back of the property, indicated by the orange and white, orange and yellow dotted line. The purpose for that fence is there are 2 coolers, 2 walk-in coolers that have been placed behind this. One is behind the property, right there, and the other one is where that white car is. That was discussed briefly in the last meeting. I think we were here in October. And to just to keep things looking good in the neighborhood, you know, it's a 6-foot fence. It's going to go around those 2 coolers. with about a 4-foot offset from those coolers. So the fence itself will be a composite. It's not a wood, but it's a composite. It'll match the siding and the aesthetic of the building itself. It's just to kind of hide the coolers that are there currently, right? The next thing that we'd like to mention, this is the front of our building here. We would like to put in a deck to the right-hand side of those double doors.
I'm gonna get up the plot. This area right here.
Right there, with a couple of tables that could accommodate as many as 24. I don't know that we want to go quite that many people. 20 would be nice, but at least a minimum of 12. So anywhere from 12 to 24 people. I know that one of the things we talked about in the last meeting was what about parking? We've gone out, we've calculated there's as many as 21 parking locations, or 21 parking spaces, possibly 19, depending on how we would do it with handicap parking and so forth. But keep in mind, we're not an eat-in restaurant. We are a carry-out, so we are a grocery store. We are carry-out for sandwiches, carry-out for pizza, carry-out for some groceries. So this would be the only seating that really we're looking at. And it's for, you know, I don't want to say summer only, because certainly spring would be accommodating, and fall, given the weather, right? So you can also see there's a couple planter boxes to the north side, the right-hand side there, as well. And the third is our monument sign, which is frankly, did we decide a 4x4 or 5x5? All of a sudden I've forgotten, because we discussed back and forth.
It's labeled on that drawing.
Yes.
I believe it's 24 square feet on one side.
There you go, yeah. It's definitely,
Here's the design that goes on it.
well, even if it's 5x5, it's still within the parameters. I just don't remember just all of a sudden, I don't remember if we went 4x5, 4x4, 5x5. Roughly, we're still working with the designer on the sign, but something possibly that looks like this. And then the location, of course, we have to be so many feet off of the sidewalk, which we've made accommodations for as well.
Right here.
There we go, yeah. 10 feet away from the sidewalk.
Yeah, it's a
And
4x5 sign.
It's a 4x5, yeah. 4 in width, 5 in height. There we go, okay. And going back quickly, the deck itself, again, the composite would be similar, if not identical, to what is in the back of the building, to match the fence as well, so that everything goes together.
And then I think that we just gave some examples to Frank on what we were kind of looking at for the aesthetics for the planter boxes. Excuse me, the planter boxes, just to give you all an idea of, you know, again, tying into the existing appearance of and aesthetics of the building. And we know this is a large view, but it just kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking for.
Yeah, it's not an identical, it's just to give the idea of what the look would be.
Potentially some overhead string lights, and there is currently lighting on the outside of the building. You know, aren't there right here, here, and here?
Correct.
Yeah.
I believe that's all I can.
No,
Don't have
thank
a whole
you.
lot to say about it, but I can answer the questions.
Thank you.
Sure.
Comments, questions by board members?
I got a
Yes,
Can you pronounce the name for me?
sure. Antica
Antica,
Italia.
Italia, gotcha.
It
Thank you.
means, it means the old Italian way. Yes.
I have to
And-
tell you, I asked the question, I think I still got it wrong.
Also there on the windows where it has willpower, it's the, that's existing vinyl signing. We would do, logo signage there. And then, of course, on the doors, the hours of operation, et cetera.
How tall will the deck be, like off the ground?
Not much.
Just like one board, like
Yeah,
6 or
it's
4
about
inches?
about one step
Okay.
up.
I was just curious because the railing, we approved a little bike donation shop up here, and I feel like we could have done a little bit better on it. So
Okay.
if you're just doing the one board, I think
Yeah,
that's
it's gonna
great.
be one step up. Yeah.
And your logos are gonna be just both the same side where willpower is, just on both sides?
That's correct. That's correct. In fact, there is one logo that they currently have that is on the south side of the building, that we, right there, that we will take off, and we are not putting our logo in that location, so it'll just come off of there.
I saw that you're gonna carry gelatos and stuff too, so.
We are, yes,
Quality there.
yes. The hope is to be able to make the gelato ourselves as well. We're a little tight on room right now. We've got 1,200 square feet on the inside of the building, but we also, with the 2 coolers, we have some room there possibly.
I had a gelato business 25 years ago too.
Well,
It was made in New Jersey, but mainly distributed in Chicago.
we look forward to seeing you. Come over and show us how to do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Other comments by board members?
I guess a question for Frank is, so where they have the planter boxes can be up against the sidewalk. They can have 2 right there as a divider, but they can't put any signs on those. That's considered a sign, and the sign where it's at, if you got the sign where it's at right now, if you've got 2 cars parked right there, and with the boxes on the other side, it's really gonna be kinda hard to see that sign.
It would. Standards say it's gotta be 10 feet off the sidewalk or the right-of-way, whichever is further. So if they wanted to put it in a different spot, closer to the right-of-way, they'd need to ask for a variance for that. So we drew it here to show that they intend to meet the standards, but the board could certainly put a condition that they need to ask for a variance if they wanna move the sign or.
And I think there's kind of a flower area there. Are you gonna turn the sign, you're gonna keep the sign where it's, I guess what,
East,
east,
west.
So you can see it from the north and the south, or you're gonna have it facing towards 19?
Currently, it's east-west. But I agree with what you're saying, whereas if you get the planter boxes and you're heading south
Yeah.
on Peru, will you or will you not be able to
And you've got 2 cars parked there going, going north.
go in the other direction?
So I have a question in regards to, you said you were still working on the design of your monument sign. Do you have an idea when you might have that design done? Or are you just planning on having it ready for the spring, or what's your thoughts around that?
How far along do you think?
Probably a week or 2.
Yeah, we're still.
Our
it's-
graphic designer's just helping us tweak the,
Tweak the logo itself.
so before the end of the year.
The design, not putting the monument sign in place, but having the actual design of it, right?
And I'm not trying to narrow you down on the time,
Nope, certainly,
so you don't want you to misunderstand, that's what I'm looking for, but
absolutely.
I guess I'm struggling a little bit of trying to prove something I'm not seeing.
Yes.
So, you know, that's sort of where I was leaning a little bit, and I was gonna have the discussion with the board in a few minutes, not necessarily related to your project, but about some ways to maybe streamline this a little bit and help get through the process so the board can see things in the future. So,
Sure, absolutely. Is that something you'd like, once we come up, once the design is finished, is that something you would like to see, need us to present?
so what I was going to suggest to the board that, because I struggle just myself of saying this is what a sign's going to look like when we're going through aesthetic review.
Sure.
Or, for an example, the deck, if we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, you know, trying to approve something I really can't put my hand, can't see.
Right.
So I'd like to suggest to the board that in the future, if we feel those are things we want to see in the future, that I know one of the things we've been very concerned about is having a petitioner come back because there's a fee associated with that. But I would like to see the petitioners be able to come back with those designs in the future and for the board to review that at no cost.
Yeah, if we could somehow manage to do a 3D rendering of some sort that, I mean, not even for your sake, but for our own sake, in regards to the things we just talked about.
Sure.
How effective is that sign being where it's at, as opposed to not being out there? Before we acquired the property, there was a monument sign there, but it was a for sale, for lease sign. And it was closer to the sidewalk, easily seen. So yes, I agree with what you're saying, for sure.
And I think that's one of those cases, and, for the board to consider in this particular case, once we see the sign and we would approve a sign, we're looking at it from aesthetically, and I know you could certainly say positioning could be part of aesthetics, but I would like to think that if they went back to the Board of Zoning Appeals and they allowed them to move it 5 feet towards the street or whatever, that we would not require them to come back through aesthetic review again for that movement. I think that should be a Board of Zoning Appeals function at that particular time. So, looking for those thoughts and, so. So,
Certainly.
but, in going through the different components, looking at the fence, does everyone feel really good about the fence and thoughts around that?
So you said it was a PVC fence, is that what you said?
It's not, so it's not a vinyl, I think when we think vinyl, we think of those white polyvinyl fences that we see. The composite materials that they make now, they have almost a wood grain type finish to them. Yeah, and the building itself, as you can see, the building is brown and black. Our intention is to have it be very similar to what that brown is right there.
Okay. So then you are the owners of the property, correct?
We are not currently, no, but that is something that we are working on with Scott.
Yeah, he's approved, the owner has approved everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't, for the amount of money we're putting into it, this would not be a rental, long-term rental per se. This is, our intent is to purchase the property.
But I was just asking because of, like, the fence, putting the fence up, and if you're not the property owner, I mean, there's potentially damage to the asphalt that's there, concrete, I don't know what surface is there, so.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, okay, yes, I understand. Yeah, we have not done anything, nor will we do anything without the owner's approval.
So I think your design of your, signage and everything looks very nice. We're super excited about your business and the community, so we certainly don't want you to misunderstand by, some of the questions we're asking, and also, potentially asking you to come back so we can get a better view of what you're wanting to do.
Oh, absolutely. Understandably so.
You're looking for opening hopefully in the spring?
We were really shooting for March 1st for the longest time. Our biggest holdup currently is the pizza oven. It's taking anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks to acquire. And be-
A good stone one, it sounds?
Yeah, yes, yep. And you can't build out the inside of the deli. We can build out some, but
Yeah.
the oven's got to go in, and you've got to build around it, right? So, fingers crossed, April 1st, right? Right? Yeah, we'd like to have it open before the warm weather hits, for sure.
The building looks great, and all we're trying to do is probably get our arms around what's the limits from signage standpoints and.
Oh, absolutely.
what makes the most
It's-
sense.
And it's a beautiful building. I mean, it's very striking. And then you got the Edward Jones building that went up recently as well, by the same builder. And it's just the two of them together, it really draws your eye to that side of the road. So we're very excited about it.
So are the boards acceptable with all the window signs as presented, fence-wise? So discussion around then coming back for the monument sign and what the deck's going to look like, or?
So will the deck go all the way out to the sidewalk? Is that essentially where you're taking it?
Currently, no. Currently, it's 10 feet. Here's a rendering of it. You have 10 feet. It's closer to it's close to the sidewalk that leads up to the front door, but away from the public sidewalk that runs along Peru Street there.
So this, Frank, is the right of way, or that's the sidewalk? That's the sidewalk?
The dotted line right here,
Is the right of way?
this is the right of way.
Okay, I got you. So this is the right of way?
So you're gonna deck the whole front, not just where you got the picnic tables in.
No, just the side, just on that right side.
Okay,
This,
but it's not showing us being 10 feet, the sign's 10 feet.
Yes, correct. The
yeah, I
sign,
mean, so there's 14 feet from that edge to there, roughly.
But he's only gonna deck
10
this
feet,
side,
yeah, 10 feet.
Okay, all right, 10 feet from there, all right.
So 10, I assume 10 feet from there, so you'll have several feet, you'll have 4 feet between the right of way.
Essentially all that green grass.
Yeah.
Private, how did you, decide to get into this business?
well, I have a restaurant background,
Okay.
and Italian, especially in Italian cooking as well. Since 2017, we've been salami manufacturers, where we distributed throughout the United States for restaurants, for ourselves, but we were mostly wholesale. We had a 4,000 square foot building down on 65th Street in Indianapolis. Wholesale's hard. Wholesale's, and I miss the retail side of it. We have been doing, with that wholesale business, we were doing farmers markets for every Saturday, right? So that was the main component of our retail. Now we did charcuterie boards and things of that nature. But some things changed, some ideas changed, and we wanted to get back into the retail business side of it. So we are still making our own salami, and those cured meats, the pancetta and all that stuff, right?
Meats with like moose and.
It sort of. We're not going to wholesale anymore. We're not going to distribute anymore. It'll be just for ourselves. We were a USDA certified manufacturer for all those years. We had 0 filings against us. Everything was went really well. But yeah, so we're going to continue to make those products to sell inside of our facility, to put it on the sandwiches, to put it on the pizza. Yes, as well as have some imported stuff as well, so it won't be just ours. Yes.
And Goose smokes their stuff.
Sure.
And ours is cured.
Just cured.
Dry cured,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep.
So that's where it's a bit of a different
For that
product.
type of quality, it sounds like.
It is. Oh, yeah, very, very much so, very much so.
And we live in Hamilton County. We wanted to get our business into Hamilton County, so we were really excited when
I think it's a beautiful place.
we saw the,
I think it draw people from all over.
I do too. Yeah, I've seen some studies as far as the amount of traffic that goes on US 19. And, yeah, I think we're gonna do well. I really do.
Because, as you know, if you have a good artisan quality product, people will find it.
Which we could go back to the point of, the sign's important, but maybe not so much. Obviously important in the beginning.
So I guess I'll go back to your deck design. Similar question I asked about the monument sign from the standpoint of when you think you would like to do your deck. I'm going to guess it'll probably be sometime in the spring
Yeah.
when the weather changes a little bit.
As of right now, in the hierarchy of all things that need to happen, the deck is about last right now.
Okay.
Just because we just need all these other things to happen first. The deck is what would probably be the very last thing that we would end up doing, yes.
So at some point you would probably have a little bit of design done on the deck so we could have a better rendering of what it would look
Absolutely.
like. So if it wouldn't be an unreasonable request and the board would agree, I think it would be good if you could bring those back and let us to review that as well as that monument sign.
Absolutely.
And again, at no cost to you, because we certainly don't want to, knowing you're starting up a new business, not be business friendly, so it wouldn't be right for us to charge you a static review fee again, but I
appreciate
mean,
that.
I would look for feedback on the board on that, if they think that would be appropriate.
Yeah, we'd be more than happy to do that.
Okay, and you can get with Mr. Zawadzki when you feel comfortable doing that. We have a monthly meeting, and we'd be glad to get you
Sure.
on that meeting and get you back in and review everything and, give you some input and see what that's gonna look like.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Okay?
So then do we want to approve the fence, or what are we going to do?
We certainly can approve the fence and the window signs if we'd like tonight, and then we would look at the deck and the monument sign once we see those renderings. If that's the direction the board would like to take.
I mean, when are you planning on the fence? Anytime soon?
Before opening, yeah, so if we are shooting for that April 1st opening, it will be, not December, it'll be January, February, March. And if you'd like to see what that composite material looks like as well, I have no issue bringing that.
Yeah, I think if you're going to come back with the monument sign, I think it would be just to kind of see the color. I mean, we hear what you're saying, but see what that fence
Okay.
looks like,
Yep.
if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
Makes it easier, and then deck location maybe, I don't know what exactly for,
Can I, without taking a vote on it, are we okay with where the fencing is and all of that? There doesn't,
I personally don't see a problem.
okay.
No, I think,
People are gonna see it.
I mean, you're shielding something, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
no, I think,
There are some neighbors to the back, but yeah.
I think the fence would be, welcomed by the neighbors there, but, would look nice and
We
it's
actually spoke with that particular neighbor, and they're very excited to have us there.
Good.
Matter of fact, the words were, "Oh, no, that sounds like trouble," meaning a lot of money's going to be.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the consensus is there's no issue with the location of the fence, and if you don't mind coming back with those other things for review, we would greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely. We're just a few minutes down the road, so.
Okay, thank you, and if you'll continue to work with Mr. Zawadzki, we would appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So I
Go ahead.
guess just for clarification for the deck itself, then are you looking for a rendering, are we looking for a rendering, or are we looking just really proximity of it, formalized on here, on something like this?
Well, I think it's, I don't know exactly what the board's looking for. I'd like to have an idea of what it's going to look like and where it's going to be located and how much of that space it would take up. And then more of an idea exactly what it's going to be built out of.
So similar to the fence, then what material you plan on using?
Sure.
And a lot of times if you go, you can actually get a little sample.
Absolutely.
And then, I think what I heard is you could just draw on here
Yes.
where you we're gonna have it, just so we can see from a reference standpoint. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, and I don't remember, Frank, was there a particular, with the sign, we had to be 10 feet from the sidewalk. I don't recall now,
There are setback
there are
requirements.
setback requirements for the
Yeah,
deck.
so if we went ahead with the deck, we'd have to ask for a variance from the BZA for setbacks and also impervious surface, I'm pretty sure,
Okay,
so.
okay.
I mean, you can tell him what those are, though.
The setbacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can look it
Not
up.
today, you don't have to do it right now, but
Okay,
if you would let him know so he knows.
I can't, yeah, I'll certainly do that.
I mean,
Probably-
Then if you're gonna go to the BZA because of that, you might as well look at your sign as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be the efficient thing.
I think it's, 20 feet for primary arterial?
Well,
From the right of way.
20-foot
I
setback.
think, yeah.
20 feet from, for a primary arterial, is that what 19 is, most likely?
Yes.
And then there's a side yard setback also
20 feet from where, though? From the,
from the right-of-way, because that's where the property line starts. So yeah, from the property line, which in this case is the same as a right-of-way.
I mean, that doesn't even, the main structure doesn't fit within that, I don't believe.
No, I don't think it does.
Yeah, well, we'll have to let Mr. Zawatsky
Yeah,
look at it and
fair-
figure that
fair enough.
component out.
And 12 feet from the side, which I'm not sure if that'll meet that or not, but that's what we'll have to do.
Okay, yep, absolutely.
And will the hours, will they be in the same, on the doors, will they be the same font as is this the one that'll go on the doors?
Yes, it will.
Any other comments, questions?
So all these discussions, I think we're all welcome. Glad to have you here.
Yes.
So please don't take it otherwise.
Yeah.
Not at all, not at all.
Well, that's the hard part here is we welcome you to the community, but we ask a lot of hard questions, and then we ask you to come back for different reasons, and I certainly hope you understand that.
Oh, of course.
So-
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
Well, we'll support it too.
Let us know when the soft opening is.
Yes, you'll all be invited, yes.
well,
So,
go ahead.
Do we need to table this then?
Yes.
So, Mr. President, I'll make a motion to table, this review, this aesthetic review, with the bringing back of additional information requested.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hayden.
Mr. Chairman, Harrison Masani, and I second that.
Thank you, Mr. Mazzani. We have a motion and a second to table this docket. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, this is tabled, and we'll look forward to seeing your information when you're back in the future here, okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thank you.
All righty, thank you both very much.
Yeah, absolutely, we'll get in touch with you, Frank.
Oh, yes, sir.
Glad you're coming to Cicero also.
Thanks.
Did we need to put in there that they can come back free of charge, or will that take care of that? We all agree on that? I think we all agree on that. All right, well, we'll like double my normal fee. Oh, absolutely. No problem at all.
Good evening, Plan Commission. I have here in front of me the most recent version of the Director's Report. This is for November of 2025. Permit revenue for the month of November 2025 was $1,699. Brings us up to a year-to-date of $60,560. At the same time last year, November of 2024, we were at $5,491 for the month and $58,861 for the year. That's a difference for the month of November, a minus $3,792, and a plus for the year of $1,699. We issued a total of 6 building permits for November of 2025. 2 were for in-town limits, no new homes, and we issued 4 out in Jackson Township, 1 new home out there. Estimated cost of these projects permitted was $572,000. We do have a BZA meeting scheduled for 12/18 here at the Town Hall. There are items on the agenda, and we will meet. That's my report. Anybody have any questions?
Mr. Zawadzki, why don't you give a brief update on how your right-of-way permits are going?
The right-of-way permits are going fantastic, far better than we could have possibly hoped. So we created the right-of-way permit to protect ourselves. We formerly had no way to regulate somebody putting utilities in the right-of-way. So came up with the right-of-way permit. They need to come to us, and we came up with a way to bill and to charge and to inspect and to regulate and to protect ourselves. If they cut our utilities, we can recoup that money somehow. So we came up with something in a kind of a hurry and got it done. And we've far exceeded our revenue expectations. We also had one water main strike, and as a result of the contract that we did, we were able to recoup every bit of that money. So it's going outstandingly well.
Kudos.
Thanks.
Any comments, questions for Mr. Zawadzki?
Not regarding that, but regarding this, previous petitioner. So they went already to the BZA to get approval.
They have.
Is this sign and this fence something new, or was it known?
We talked about that briefly. I just can't remember if it was official. I was on that.
No variance was required for it. It's meets standards, so the only thing that was required was the aesthetic review.
Oh, I thought we just said the deck needed a
The deck does, yes. That was not discussed in the last meeting. No,
So-
sir.
Broached on it, but they weren't sure. We should have gone into detail at the end.
I think they went through aesthetic review for approval for outdoor seating, is that not correct? And then the potential of the deck, right?
Today,
No, when they were at the BZA, wasn't it for outdoor seating?
you're talking about the variance.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a land use variance to allow a deli with outdoor seating and also a manufacturer a food product.
They talked about it, but no details.
When we talked last, they really weren't sure, what they were gonna do, so we tried to get it on here for you guys to,
Well,
Just-
no, I'm questioning the BZA part of it, just how we can be, not this case, just as we look down the line, as more people come in, instead of asking them to go back, because it sounds like there's potentially two things they need to go back for. One would be the sign,
And
and
the
one would
deck.
be the deck itself.
that's correct. It's pretty tough if they don't have a plan nailed down. So,
Yeah, I agree with that. And they were probably just worried about being able to get their business in there at that time, so. Okay.
okay. Anything else for Mr. Zawadzki? Thanks for your report. And
I have a question.
yes, sir.
The stop work order out on Iron Bridge, I haven't driven by it yet. What did they build?
The stop work order out on Iron Bridge, what did they build? I haven't driven by.
he built a carport.
It's the one right there on the corner with the garage. Okay, I'll drive by on the way
Yes.
home.
Yes, it is.
There was two that got,
Wasn't there two in the report that got stop work orders in the past couple months? I'll go back.
Could have been,
It's just people not submitting and just not caring, you think?
I'm trying to think of what the other one was. That one, yeah, they built it, they built part of it. I went over and put stop work orders all over the place, notified the owner, and then they kept building. So that one's no good. The other one, I can't seem to recall, but that's something we do all the time.
He does.
Once they decide to continue building, that's when you get Aaron involved.
Yes, Yes, sir. Yes, Aaron is aware and involved.
So even after you put the signs up, they continue to go?
They did.
Blatant disregard.
We're handling it.
Yeah. So,
I was more scared.
Huh?
I said I was more scared. I went running down.
so moving on, President's report, just again, thank everyone being here this evening and for, you know, looking at the aesthetics review, and it's one of those that are always tough, and I know, you know, we've had conversations about approving things and then the potential of having people come back, and I know it's always been a tough call, especially when you're gonna require somebody to come back and pay another fee, and, you know, I think allowing someone to come back in these particular cases and not charging, you know, is the right thing for the board to do, but from a board's perspective, I think it gives us all the opportunity to review those items so we understand what they're wanting to do. And I know Mr. Zawatsky doesn't care to do it, but it keeps him out of an awkward situation too if we allow him to approve too many things, and that is our role, so that's the reason I brought that up this evening, so.
And also the last meeting when they weren't here, we discussed that sign, there's additional information. And when I looked at it later, I did not make it out there beforehand. The incline that goes to that sign, you're gonna have a hard time actually seeing that monument sign. It's almost gonna be off the side of the road. But to Harrison, that had talked about wondering if the sign was gonna be too bright, you know, it's gonna have to go through trees and a building before it even reaches the house, so there's no way quite right, but they will be able to see it from 31 where it's second north, it will be along the road. 216th Street that goes through there, I don't know what the street is.
Okay. So with that, next meeting for everyone to start thinking about, we'll have election of officers, as we always do in January. So everyone start thinking about that. The other thing is, we'll want to continue having discussion around the ordinances, and I think most of you are working on your thoughts from the ordinances and things, and Mr. Thomas had a great idea, and you want to share that with the group, sir?
Instead of the book, and writing in your book, and sometimes maybe it's not I thought it would be easier to take the actual book and have a full printout. You can make any notes on it, scribbles, etc., and you've got the full book in just one pack. And also on that is the overlay for US 31, so you got the full book and the present overlay for US 31, so.
Thank you, sir.
There's a couple of,
Thank you.
they're all
Thank
front
you.
and back, except for, if you find you need another one, you're more than welcome, you already.
I started making copies of it as I was going through, like, running the offices, making copies of it, like, so it's fine.
Well, Mr. Thomas made this suggestion and thought it was a great idea, and he took the initiative to get the books all done and bring those to the board, and then also, in case you might accidentally be missing a page someplace in your book, now you'll have a full set, just to have those available. But I think it's great that you have the opportunity to go through and highlight things, mark things out, make notes, or whatever you want to do as we continue with these discussions.
Thank you, Art.
Yes.
Well, it was just an idea, and I would just keep the Canadians happy, and there's that. It's nice to have it all there and not put them back and forth.
Even color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really don't have a lot on the ordinances tonight, just other than any thoughts that any of you have at this particular time to share on those as we get the opportunity to go through and start scratching things up and making some notes and stuff, and continuing to put this together, and then start thinking about, as we continue to move forward, looking at timelines of when we might want to engage with a consultant to put some of the things together. I would think that we'll probably want to, for sure, get with the consultant as we start working on the US 31 overlay district and what that might look like. And then also how we would like to see that and get some additional thoughts at the best way to put all that together, so. Thoughts or comments from anyone at this point? Okay. Seeing none, then I'll move on to legal counsel report. And Mr. Culp's not here this evening, and he didn't share anything for his report with me when I conversed with him earlier today. So we will move on to board member comments.
To the question on the ordinances, do we want to potentially have, everybody loves to go to another meeting, do we actually work on those at the end of the present meetings, or do we actually try and set a couple of times together where we know that that's what we are going to concentrate on?
So we can do it either way. So we can have extra meetings if the board would like to do that. We just would need to, advertise those since we're holding a meeting and we're all together. So no, we certainly can do that. So I would not be opposed to that approach either. We could make those work sessions. And we've done that a couple of times in the past over the years. So we could certainly have a couple of work sessions if we would like. And then we have that potential if something would not be on the docket, we could certainly, a meeting that we didn't have anything, also use that as a work session. Yeah.
Just a suggestion.
The advantage to having it after this, if it's simple like this, then you spend an hour working on that.
Sure. Well, we're not always so fortunate and have short meetings, unfortunately,
Right, you can't.
but those are great opportunities to work on these things.
Kind of dissect it section by section, so we all know that we're gonna go through this the next meeting, or instead of because I kind of started going with it, it's like, what if I'm through it?
No, I think that would be a good approach, that we take a section that we say we want to go through, maybe the first 4 sections or 3 sections, whatever think we might want to do, especially now that we have something we can scribble on a lot more and work through. That'll simplify that process also.
Yeah, I'd be good with that. I'd probably prefer a separate work session. I don't know what everyone's times are like, but
So,
I'll make clear my mind for it, be focused on it.
so if everyone will give that some thought, that, we review that in January, and we start planning the schedule, and that'll give everybody an opportunity to look at their schedules for next 3 months, January, February, March, and potentially April, and we can start looking at setting up some special work sessions.
Is there a time that you would like to be finished with the review and then go on to, do you have a timeline in mind as far as when you want to be finished going through?
I think we would want to, I was leaning towards that we would look like engaging a consultant someplace probably in the month of June, potentially July at the latest. But again, that's something that we will also have to reach out and do an RFP with the consultants. So we'll want to start laying that time frame out as well, so that we'll have the opportunity to interview those firms and make a decision which one do we want to use. So we'll need to, so everyone start thinking about that a little bit too, but I think we start putting some of this together more in details after we get through the holidays and give everybody a chance to think a little more about it. And then we enter into more of a discussion in January if everybody's okay with that.
You wanna go through sections 1 and 2 in our January meeting?
We certainly can plan to do that,
See what's on the schedule and then
yeah.
see if we think we're gonna need work sessions or scheduling from there.
So let's plan on then, in that particular case, we'll look at section 1 and 2. If for some reason we have a busy meeting, then we certainly could say that, we could move that to February if we needed to and add a couple of more sessions, but at least that gives that the opportunity to go ahead and start working on some things in the meantime. If everyone's okay with that, I think great feedback and great suggestions. Yes, Mr. Zawatsky.
What section would we put that on the agenda? Would it be new business?
Yes,
Thank you.
please. And then we'll just start adding these to the agenda moving forward if the board's okay with that. Does that sound doable and feasible to everyone? If not, certainly speak up and say, hey, no, I want to get through 10 sections in January and I want to have a plan done today, so. Okay. Well, again, thank you for all being here. I think great discussions. Always appreciate the feedback and the thoughts. And any other board member comments? Seeing none, then I would, next planning commission meeting will be January 14th. And with that, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. President, Dennis Trump, I move we adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Shrimp.
Second, Harrison Masani.
Thank you, Mr. Masani. All in favor of adjourning our meeting this evening signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Meeting